A couple months back, one of Steve McQueen's own Ferrari 275s is up for auction. Now, they didn't let me drive the car, but I got to sit passenger as we did a few laps around the city and around the track. Completely restored by Ferrari Classic A in Italy, it's a perfect representation of what a car was like in 1967 off the factory floor. This is my love letter to the king of cool himself, Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen had that laser vision that just made him just magical. He just had a, you know, it's one of those, if you could bottle Steve McQueen's essence, you'd sell it for gazillions of dollars.
This GTB is getting towards the end of the really truly hand-built cars. It's very classic. It's a nice car between the older Ferraris and the newer cars.
There isn't a car out there that's prettier than the 275 GTB4. I mean, that's it. Now, it's one of my favorite cars, always has been. I've worked on a lot of them. Steve McQueen was the first guy I got to work on a 275 for.
It's kind of interesting meeting Steve. I was in the shop one afternoon working, and I hadn't been having much luck that day. I got a phone call.
The person got on the phone, said his name was Steve McQueen. I said, "Steve McQueen, the actor?" He said, "Yeah." Well, I about fell off the phone.
He said, "If I'm bothering you, if you're busy, I could call later."
He was like a super movie star. It was a big deal to get to go out and meet him and talk to him about painting a car.
He wanted to come in that next afternoon. Steve could be very gracious when he wanted to. He's a very charming guy.
He sat on the floor in the door jamb of the back door and told stories about where he was making this movie and that movie, and we all ate hamburgers and drank malts, and it was just like a good old boy.
It also could be horribly demanding.
Everything had to be done right now, really fast. We wanted it done in weeks.
He expected you to stop whatever you're doing and take care of him. But above everything, he was really a genuine, a real car enthusiast. That wasn't showbiz. He really did love cars.
Driving hard, racing hard, anything that took a lot of balls.
Yeah, he was always trolling for a little race. So any place he could go fast was fine for him. He was a Mulholland guy.
Lee Brown had painted the car for him, a Ferrari red. It came a gold color from the factory.
I had done the NART for him. That was on a Friday afternoon, and I guess on Sunday, some guys rear-ended him out on Pacific Coast Highway and just finished the car. He had never driven the NART before that, so he was up to driving a new Ferrari, and he had a little taste of the NART. But Hollywood Sports Cars had this car on the showroom floor, so I brought the car back to the shop, and the car being gold was not a Steve color at all. So I said, why not paint it maroon? The car will look good in maroon. And he said, okay. And so I came up with this color here. We took the mirror off of the NART, and we took the wheels off of the NART and sent the car up to San Francisco where he was doing Bullitt. Oh, and he loved it. Yeah, yeah, I knew he would. It's just his kind of stuff.
And it was sent out to me to touch it up. It got damaged at the studio with apparently door dings or something. Then he sold it, and that's when it went to Guy Williams. But he wanted to keep everything really up to show quality, but he didn't really treat it like show quality.
He had a real desire to have the best of whatever it was that he was doing, and he was ready to work at it. For instance, the mirror that's on this car, you can't really see out of it all that good, but it looks great.
A lot of the people that I worked for came to me because I did work for Steve Mcqueen. When I was working for him, he made a comment to me one time. He said, Jesus, he says, every time I make a move and find somebody new, everybody else jumps on behind me. You know, it's like he seemed irritated with it, that to else wanted to follow exactly what he did. But he set a pace, he set a standard. And people wanted to go where he went. In death, he's a superstar among superstars. I think because the mystique of who that man was, people want to have part of that. People want to be connected with it. And that's what makes a difference, you know, that things he had and things he touched becomes keepers for a lot of people. And that's the only way they can get close to him, because he's gone. And it's all part of history.